Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Darkest Dungeon. Let's continue. Alright, so we defeated the boss last time, so it really is just more of the same, I guess. We don't want to take our A team, so we want to just kind of level up our B team. Sunshine in the Thicket as a daily quest probably wouldn't help us too much unless we're going to take on a boss, which I guess means our best bet is probably to do fresh air in the tunnels. Here we have a champion long. We're going to have to potentially start grinding the estate with just veteran and long runs until we can get up to level 6. And I guess this may be a case where we stop seeing these level 3 things. Yeah, I just don't know how the game is going to work, really, once we get everything up to level 6. It seems like once you've locked in that progress, there's no hope of doing anything else with it. So, let's take this character. This character can be here, I guess. We've got just a lot of 3 characters that we would want to take. We could also take the antiquarian and get more of gold, which is probably not a bad move. And then we just need a strong fighter up front. And who's that going to be? We'd want it to be one of these level 3 characters. Which I guess makes it the Gravedigger. Is that our best bet? I think it is. We still have too many characters that are level 2. Still have too many characters that are level 3s. Still too many characters that are level 1s. Okay. So we are going to pickaxe some things, which is going to limit our inventory somewhat, but we have learned in the last recording that there's just a whole system I didn't understand, really, as far as you can, with fair safety, this is going to be a medium-sized run, yeah. Take one of each of these items alongside with you and just have your inventory full like this, and worst case scenario you're going to lose kind of an insignificant amount of gold at this point. Does this pouch always, is it always here, or is that something the antiquarian is actually helping me with? We're fairly certain that the antiquarian does allow you to hold more gold, doubling the amount of gold you can take in a run,
draw power
or you can stack up in a run.
And crude idols. Tear them down.
Interesting, however, though, that there's just like nothing here that explains that. You'd think that there might be a description somewhere in the game that would explain that. Alright, so we're looking for quest items, which I think means we can skip all 3 of these rooms just to start with. Alright. And then who has the most trap disarm? This one has 100. Alright. So, you run into a character like this, and I guess these are question marks. as far as we just never tried things. So if it has an X, we know it hasn't done something, so we'll try something. It didn't do anything, so it will be an X. We'll try something, it didn't do anything. That'll be an X. We do know that burning this will give you some kind of response. And that does mean we are kind of just burning through possible outcomes. And see, that immediately frees up some things. The only problem now is if we burn this, it will remove negative quirks on the character instead of potentially giving you positive quirks, which you're probably much better off getting positive quirks and not using a torch over removing the negative quirks, which you can just do with money. Alright, so if there are 3 items, almost certainly you would think that there would be an item over in this general direction. So we'll go down here. Keep an eye out for traps. Having a first starting fight here is helpful because we need to get a feel of what these attacks are going to be. And the reason why we chose this run is because this almost certainly is going to lead to
another abomination cleansed from our lands.
Event that allows us to take on the next boss with our A team in the next turn. I've still not figured out how to move this Gravedigger's ability over to the left.
Maintain the offensive.
Alright. And so the hope is that we'll get scouting here. Quest location, curio, curio. So everything seems to be right. If anything, this whole fight may just turn into far too easy of an experience. I'm fairly certain the Antiquarian also increases the odds of no quest location here. But yes, a quest location here. Alright, so we'll just go in circles. This is just going to be a fast run. And that's going to work out perfectly fine for me.
Be gone, fiend.
Now this might turn into a scenario where doing this extra quest doesn't really do the thing I think it's going to do, which that would suck. Or
surges as the enemy crumbles.
Never really has a way in which you would actually be able to tell if it was being helpful or not.
Another one falls.
Would like a secret room.
A trifling victory. But a victory nonetheless.
Okay. Burning the book, I think very possibly is always negative. And at this rate, using the firewood on things. Might be interesting. I should just try to use the firewood on something. The most intelligent thing, I think, you use the firewood on would be a treasure chest like this, since treasure chests themselves are some of the most common items you would run into. These guys seem to have a little bit more health. But it would be highly unlikely that they would start to do massive amounts of stress or health damage.
A dizzying blow to body and brain.
Although I suppose it is possible, at any point you could just have a major backslide.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
But if each of the 4 locations get leveled up to level 6, and we only get quests that are level 5 or level 6 at that point, it almost feels like you would have to start the whole game over with just a new save file to recover. Unless taking on the Darkest Dungeon itself resets all the other locations. But that doesn't make a lot of sense either.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
More and more, I guess we absolutely do want these runs to be as quick as possible. Although, in this case, since we have the antiquarian with us, it would kind of make some sense to wander around some more,
As the fiend
see if we can fill out our inventory with items of more value.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
See, having just like 2 stacks of food.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Just doesn't feel like that's worth it. Okay. Key will give us gold. Let's try the firewood. That has no effect. That's not super surprising. Let's try the holy water. That has no effect. That's not super surprising.
A fortune waiting to be spent.
There. Quest location here would have me avoiding an obstacle. Yeah, it does just kind of feel like we probably will have enough items anyways. So the rest of the scouting would be a trap and a curio, and then a room and some other curios. So yeah, I could see myself just wandering around here trying to get the other curios, or we could just save ourselves a little bit of time.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on that character. 1, 2, 3, 4 on that character. 1, 2 on that character. I guess we could have camped instead of using the firewood on the chest. Almost certainly the firewood will never work on much of anything, but there might be something that's actually really surprising that the firewood does work on. You would kind of think that there would be some kind of logical connection to it, however. If the firewood worked, it would have to be something that would be burnable, or that the firewood would otherwise synergize with. If, for instance, the Cthulhu-esque final boss character in this game could be defeated with the firewood, that would be surprising. But that would be an interesting little twist. Certainly. A little Easter egg more than anything, I guess.
Their cursed champion falls.
Now I guess we're just killing the corpse with that character. Do we have something else we can do? What is this? Damage mod, 15%. That's not that much. Almost dead.
These nightmarish creatures can be felt. They can be beaten.
And then, would there be any extra value in trying to use the bandage? No. We do have a new character here. And so we may find something unique about this character. He's probably a pretty heavy hitter. I wouldn't be surprised if he does multiple damage to multiple people on your team. This is kind of a heavy hitter character too, so maybe we should focus on eliminating him first.
Well struck.
Yeah, let's see what Boar Rush does. 10 damage and pushes someone back. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that it would do something special. But not that special. Moving a character around is a little bit of a hassle. Still trying to kill somebody, anybody. Stress could potentially get really high here. So he moves around quite a bit as a character. And he has some kind of guard ability where I'm trying to kill this character and failing pretty miserably at it. Two down, one to go. Let's see if we can get a blight effect on him. Doesn't seem like it. We may be able to jump backwards and forwards though, still with the corpses. And if we have nothing better to do, we might have to destroy the corpses. So he is stuck at being at the front.
Precision and power.
Hmm. Hmm. This is taking a little longer than you'd expect, considering how this isn't really a boss fight, or even a sub-boss fight.
Alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Okay. Okay, and so then we
As the light gains
toss
purchase,
the torches.
spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
And then we might as well just eat the food, since we're gonna have to toss it anyways. And then we toss the shovels. We could wander around, but let's just return to the hamlet.
Robbed of their writings, the swine will grow ever more ignorant. If such a thing were possible.
So that builds us up with some gold and some upgrade materials, and sets us up with what I believe will be a daily quest, or I guess a daily quest is a good descriptor of what they are, to take on the same area a second time. Meanwhile, each of these characters gets 6 resolve, chance to turn any miss into a hit. Interesting. It might be one to lock in.
The twisting tunnels
so
no longer
33% resolve XP in warrants in the next quest, 15% damage in the warrants in the next quest. We've got some stressed characters though. We're not as prepared as I would like to be. Alright, well, start with the basics here. This is fully upgraded now as far as the number of options, and we have a veteran bounty hunter here for 3, which we should compare, see if we have any other bounty hunters at all. Bounty hunter. This is not a bounty hunter, that's a highwayman. That's a crusader. Okay. So, time to toss somebody as a character type, which is probably this antiquarian. Just go ahead and dismiss him.
This one has become vestigial.
The veteran bounty hunter. I guess you could sort by class at any point, and that would have told me, like, some fairly obvious things.
Suffer not the lame horse, nor the broken man.
The fact that we have 2 level 2 Hellions is kind of a problem. And 2 level 3 Houndmasters is kind of a problem. And 2 level 3 those characters is kind of a problem. Right. Maybe not that big of a problem. So what can we upgrade? Anything in the blacksmith? No. Anything in the guild? Reduce the cost of training. I could get this to the maximum. Let's do that, and let's see if that leads to any kind of achievement. Nope. I did not see an achievement pop up for getting this up to 100%. Which means I wasted probably quite a bit of resources upgrading the Nomad Wagon, which I don't know if I've bought even a single item ever from the Nomad Wagon. Yeah, that's unfortunate. There's, I guess, no other way to say that. Don't have quite enough to upgrade this or this either. And we don't have enough to upgrade this. Right. And I kind of just want to leave my B team. I'm going to risk a boss battle, or maybe not. I should risk a boss battle and take my level 6 characters. But that stress is so high. Like, that makes a lot of sense to get rid of. Let's just do that. And then this guy here. And that would leave me with 2 6 characters. It's financially viable to get rid of diseases. Locking in a faded ability. Do we want to get rid of something else while we're at it? Yes. Don't think there's too much that I absolutely want to lock in there. In a lot of ways, this is kind of the only reason why you want to keep these characters going out now that they're at max level. Okay, well, do we have any new items? I have a bunch of items, certainly, but I don't know if any of them fit on the new character. Is there anything else to do? Like, it is pathetic that there really is just nothing to do in this side game mechanic when it really should be more balanced. Okay, so we've got the Warrens. We want to kill the Swine King. Can we kill the Swine King? Well, with possibly just one character. This level 6. And maybe not taking this character at all. But what you could do, certainly, is take the 5 and the 6, and then not take that one. And then it would just be a matter of building up the rest of your team in the front line, which Bounty Hunter in the front can be okay. And then Who else could be in the third position? Demon's Pool. Take a dog, perhaps. Or do we have somebody else that would be a better offer? We could also try to bring in a 2, but I don't see a reason to bring in a 2. So I think that is our team. Let's just see if we can sort these by class restrictions and then give this guy some bounty hunter items. Scouting chance, speed and dodge, move resist, move skill chance. We have 25% melee damage. Yeah, so those would be the 2 for that character. We don't have anything for this character. We oddly have no extra ability that's better than just increasing your stun chance for that character. And we oddly have nothing here that that I think I want to replace the protection stone with. Alright. And it really is just a mad rush, I guess, to see. This is at level 6, so it's weird that this is already at level 6, but we have to beat the 2nd tier boss first. Okay. And what would I do for just a loadout that always started me with 2 stacks of food and 2 stacks of torches? I mean, it's so fairly obvious that that's what you want. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Take 2 of everything, and you'll probably be fine. Actually, let's just take 1 of everything. It will definitely become a case where 1 of everything. And I guess the sack was always a image that was there. I was just not paying attention to it.
My first attempts at summoning were crude, and the results disappointing. I soon found, however, that the type and condition of the host's meat was a critical factor. The best results came from pigs, whose flesh is most like that of man.
Why would pigs have flesh
abomination,
most like that of man?
To my failures, it must be destroyed.
I guess that's probably just because pigs are somewhat hairless and look pink like human flesh often does. We'd think a monkey or a great ape would have flesh most like that of a man. But then again, I guess he wouldn't have access to great apes. Alright, we're looking to kill the Swine King and nothing else, so keep an eye out for the boss and move forward. We'll want to get a quick feel of how this whole
Another one falls.
battles are going to go. Because if I can't beat
Another abomination
spiders, for
cleansed from our
instance,
lands.
then I almost certainly can't beat the Swine King. This abomination, even at level 6, still does not do enough damage.
Begone,
Which really
fiend.
makes an argument that even though I do have an A team, the fact that 2 of them are abominations probably means it's the wrong A team to take on the Darkest Dungeon. His stun ability is interesting and all, but okay. So we go this way, then we go up here. That works very nicely.
Such blockages
Oops.
are unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
That went poorly. Okay. So we know this, and this. Doesn't do anything. Does this do anything? No. Does this do anything? No. Does this do anything? No. This will give us gold. Does the dog treat do anything? No. And let's keep the firewood since we actually do have a fight here. So. Now, I guess inherently, though, the boss fight might be here, it might be here, it might be in the middle here. So there's possibly some question as to when would be the best time to set up your skills. If we could find a secret room, that would be nice. Right. Start with this guy. So we can potentially kill him quickly.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
I can't help but feel like for this game in particular, a good offense is a good defense. And so any character that might have more health, like this guy, which really doesn't have that much more health, does he have even more, like, dodge? 23 dodge versus 15 dodge. The only thing I guess is maybe if the abomination turned into the transformative state, he might do a lot more damage in that case. But I've just never used him that way.
The beast, the greater the glory.
So yeah, I may very well just be misusing the abomination as a character.
Give them no quarter.
Okay. We know this will give us gold. We know this will give us gold. We don't know if this will do anything or if that'll do anything. And the odds of the dog biscuit doing anything is pretty low. But since we know this gives us gold, take that and use that. Room with battle versus a hallway battle. Yeah, let's just go this way. There is an argument for going backwards and doing a hallway battle. instead. Alright, yeah, go to this room. We'll camp in the room after the battle. Then there will be another battle after that. Then we'll take on the boss. And after that we can go get like this curio and even run around and get some other curios if necessary. And I don't even know if the last time we fought this guy I had a better or worse team, so I have absolutely no clue how much he's going to potentially affect this team, but probably not by much.
A dizzying blow to body and brain.
I mean, that was a heavy hit, but not as bad as it could have been by far. Right, so I suspect with bleed this guy will die. So we should just focus on the foreground character.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
And I think we've got this.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Okay.
A spark
So
without
take our full food.
is a goal without hope.
Reduce stress, which we really didn't need to reduce. Okay. All companions 20% heal. Reduce stress. Do these characters really have nothing? Prevent nighttime ambushes. I guess. Accuracy and crits. More surprising stats. And I imagine we don't have anything else we can do. So we know the tracking is high, chance of being surprised is high, of surprising the people is high.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
And now if we go to the boss battle. Spirits command me to do this. So compulsive. This is not really the kind of battle you want to waste buffs on, but it's not going to matter.
With impunity. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Now this time, I will say, it probably is going to be better to investigate further and search for more treasure and just spend that extra time.
It is a travesty, a blundering mountain.
Because we just have
and rage.
a high chance of there being bigger rewards because it's a boss fight, or at least I would think we'd have a high chance of bigger rewards. Now that guy hit really hard and he has nearly 200 health, which does potentially open up the door to a boss character in the darkest dungeon that is going to have 300 to 500 health. Whereas I wasn't really expecting it to get that high, this early at least.
Impressive.
He's dead now.
Exposed to a killing blow.
This is not good though. I don't think I have any healers. So he could heal himself, which I think he has to do.
Well struck. And now the true test. Hold fast or expire.
And I gotta flee. As dumb as it is, you've got your level 3 character here. Level 3 character here. Your level 6 character here. Your level 5 character here. There's just nothing
The light, the promise
we
of
can
safety.
do. Take the stress and abandon the quest.
Failure
We tried,
tests the metal of heart, brain, and
but
body.
we failed. Which, if anything, that just, I think, once again highlights that you're going to need a team of 4, and it's going to probably need to be the right team of 4. We didn't get any resolve for that, but nobody died.
Let me share with you the terrible wonders I have come to know.
And we probably don't have enough crests to upgrade anything anyways. We could see that we've got some stressed out characters, and probably should sort by level to start to think about reducing the stress of our level 6 characters. Let's see. That one. And that one. And let's see. Yeah, I want these guys to have really low stress. For the next run. We're gonna have to take our 4s or just another group of our 3s on another adventure. And I really can't even afford much of anything else, so nothing there. I do want to remember to look here and make sure that there isn't a level 3 character around, and just tease myself on all of this. We are getting better at playing, I would say, but we can see that your odds of getting anything above uncommon seem to be 0 in the shop. That's another concerning aspect. Okay. So we need something low. Something easy. All Saints Day at level 3 would give us an event or this would potentially set us up for fighting the hag. I think this is the move. We just have to hope to actually be able to pull this off. Which one of these two characters is the better character? I think it actually is more case that this guy with the tough locked in, I guess, is the better character. We need a foreground Hellion, I think, or we may even go with this character. He's got more items on him, at the least. We could take a Hellion. Otherwise, I can put him here. So is everybody in the right position that I'd like them in to be in? Do we have any kind of antiquarian item? Almost certainly there is something here. That would be helpful for this character. You'd think there would be something helpful for this character. Nope. Doesn't seem like it. Okay. So we do the medium level 3 trip. I think maybe we are at a point where 4 might be good enough. Well, you know, we could do 6 instead of 12. And then maybe save a little bit of gold by only getting 12 torches. Three of these shovels is probably more than really is necessary. Okay. I'll take some more shovels. Or torches. And one of everything. And hope this works.
Excise the fungal
I still feel very confused as far as
may yet live.
what happens once we beat all 3 of the bosses. Like, I think we could probably go at them again. Alright. We need to activate 3 infected corpses, which means the chances are that there might be one this way. It's kind of high. Okay. So we know the shovel works. So what happens if we do laudanum? Nothing. What happens if we do medicine? Nothing. What happens if we do anti-venom? Nothing. What happens if we do a torch? Nothing. What happens if we do a bandage? Nothing. What happens if we do holy water? Nothing. And the key does nothing too. So I just wasted all of that gold.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
But was it really a waste, I guess, is the question to ask, because I learned something, and if you're learning something, particularly something that's permanent, that is the game is going to just remember for you, that's hardly a waste. In fact, I should have been learning these things 15-20 hours ago, and had I have learned those things then, and had really the game just kind of explained itself better to me, or explained itself at all, everybody's out of order. Yeah, had the game even explained its systems even slightly, we would have been having a much better experience quicker. And that only leaves the door open that there's potentially a lot of other cryptic things that are hidden
Triumphant pride
in this game.
A dizzying fall.
And at a certain level, that is what I like about things, about games like Binding of Isaac, where they're just kind of constantly adding more content.
Nature herself,
and the interactions,
to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent,
potentially doing something really weird and unexpected as far as the items in Binding of Isaac. That being said, I would also say Binding of Isaac has this effect of having a big enough audience and fandom that people will document and talk about their the items and the effects of the items ad nauseum. So if you're amongst the fandom who are following other people playing or streaming or talking about Binding of Isaac, you'll know what the items do. Although, in this case, I actively avoided any spoilers for this game, and so it's not really a surprise that I don't know how the game works. That isn't just a problem for me in the weird way I chose to play this game years later. It is also a problem for anybody who's new to this game compared to anybody who would have been in the early access period potentially streaming Darkest Dungeon. I can, of course, go and look up a walkthrough if I really get desperate.
Maintain the offensive.
But it might be a little bit harder to find a good walkthrough today than it was a couple of years ago, or when enthusiasm was at its all-time peak around this game. Although, in all fairness, during the early access period, a lot of things may have changed also, so there's a potential that people were playing blindly or playing one way, and that won't work now either. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the stats got tweaked. Let's go ahead and see if we can heal yourself.
Sedated.
Really struggling to kill this guy up front, and this lady in back is surprisingly not really doing anything. Well, now she's done something.
As the fiend
Finally.
falls, a faint hope blossoms. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Torch having no effect is really no surprise there. I imagine for the quest items, no item will have any effect at all. Right. That's one, 2 more to go. And with the layout of this dungeon, I'm not sure there really is a lot of opportunity for luckiness. Like, we'd have to run into one on this path or on this path, and we'd have to flip a coin and hope we weren't wrong. Let's make sure everybody's in the right order. This should be a fairly easy experience.
Carelessness will find no clemency in this place.
Okay. Let's see what that torch does. Nothing. Take the meat. Take the torch.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
I'll be darned, we did get lucky. So now it is just a matter of getting lucky again. I did turn down the audio as far as the background sound effects in the music. I could see turning it down a little bit more, but I can also say that it is considerably less annoying just by turning it down a little bit, so that I'm hearing it in my headphones as kind of a distant howling of a wolf instead of as a very massive howling. The amount of howling doesn't change, obviously. If they had just changed the random numbers, like minimum number between 10 seconds between howl, instead of it potentially being around every couple seconds,
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Go ahead and heal.
Sedated.
Heal one. Just heal yourself, I guess.
Decimated.
There we go.
This expedition at least promises success.
I could eat food, or I could camp. And I guess the camping is your backup here. We can get halfway through an area.
Without tools of iron, you must rely on flesh and indefatigable purpose.
Right. So, torches don't do anything, holy water doesn't do anything, that's all we've got. Let's have this guy eat food to go up. The fact that there was an obstacle, I think, gives you a high probability or hope that the last character is here. Let's see. This will do something. Is this the guy we want to do something with? Probably. We're also running out of torches, I guess, at this point. Let's target this guy first. We want this guy dead because he can spawn other characters. Whereas these guys
eradicated.
very possibly killed in one turn. I guess I could have healed there.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Alright. Okay, well, we don't have a lot here. Let's camp. Let's use our food.
It's a goal without hope.
And let's just try and reduce stress on our main character here. Party minus 15% stress. Right, now. Minus 25 stress. Doing that. Minus 15 stress on him. 15% stress. All companions healing 20. So you have to really pay attention to which one of these says a percentage stress versus which one stops stress completely. Yeah. And really that just boils down to stress chance is the phrase they should use instead of saying just a percentage number after it.
The light, the promise of safety.
Yeah, we could look around, but no reason to.
Good fortune
Take the victory.
and hard work may yet arrest this plague.
Take the victory, take the gold. Take the resolve. Leveling up characters.
Pallid blight filters its way.
So now we have 33% resolve and 15% damage in the wield in the next quest. And we have level 6 characters all ready to go to take on the boss. And that's what we were going for. We're at week 65 now.
The campaign can wait.
Not
for now,
what I meant to
carnage calls.
Real easy to click on the wrong thing. Alright, now we've got a plague doctor. Which we have not had a plague doctor, I think, in a while.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
We've had plague doctor items. This one gives 25% stress. This one gives disease resist. This gives stun skill. What skills does he have equipped by default. Blight and incision. So unless I was going to go with something else, either one of those items I think are great. Accuracy for range skills plus 10, plus 20% blight, and more blight, but reduce 15% of your health if you go for that. That's a dangerous one to, dangerous combination certainly of characters. Could also now upgrade my hero barracks, which wouldn't be the worst idea, but I think we are just still saving to upgrade these things. We do have a little bit of gold and probably some people that need some stress relieved, so let's see if that's the case. I don't even know if I want to spend the money on 3s and 4s to get the stress relieved, but I think I'll leave that. Guess we are seeing some rare items here. Just increasing your healing received sounds like it might be a good item, but there might be a better item that's very rare. Disease treatment costs going down. Is it really even worth upgrading that? Yeah, I don't think it's worth upgrading anything on these sides, and it's just better to hold on to your resources. At some point, maybe we'd start to think about upgrading survivalist skills, but even that seems like that's not really a big consideration. We still don't really have anything to build a building with, and we're about to get another blueprint, as crazy as that may sound. I guess if I somehow got 30 more busts, that's unlikely to happen, but okay. Let's us do this. This guy's still not quite as low level as I'd like him to be. So maybe we'll take this one since the stress is already there. Do that. Okay. Crit and speed. Did we never get a character? Crit and 5 protection for speed. We apparently have 2 of these solar crowns now. Reduce stress. I think we very possibly will have to use a solar crown on each character. Oh, this one is antsy. Right. So I'm thinking +3 crit. Instead, +5 protection. I think crit is more useful. so I don't know if I really did anything useful there. And if anything, I think I probably don't want to do that. -2 dodge. -1 speed, 25 damage if in position 1. Let's try that. -5 crit. No, that's not as good. 15% max HP, -2 speed. Probably is better than that item. More max XP, more max XP, making him super strong. Very possibly I'm just wasting time here. -20% stress plus 10% stress. You could potentially do a sun crown and a sun ring together. And that's very possibly what you need to equip to all of your team when you take on the darkest dungeon. Just by the name, you almost have to question whether or not the darkest dungeon is literally just the darkest dungeon, and if you fill up your inventory with torches, it still won't be enough. Alright. Here we go. Probably attempt number 2 or 3 to take on the hag with our main team this time. And gold is back to being really no object. There we go. I think that's as much as I want to take.
Her knowledge of horticulturalism and its role in various arcane practices impressed me greatly. My licentious impulse gave way to a genuine professional respect, and together we began to plant, harvest, and brew.
So,
there is method.
Isn't it fairly obvious? I guess maybe it wouldn't be fairly obvious that if all the other people that were working with or interacted with, oh, this could be a long run, our ancestor turned into monsters, wouldn't it make some level of sense that the ancestor himself turned into monsters? Perhaps a whispering voice that is telling the player what to do. Perhaps the ancestor didn't write the letter. Perhaps there was no letter in the first place. Scouting now is not going to tell you much. Okay. So, laudanum does nothing. Holy water does nothing. Medicine does nothing. Shovel doesn't work. Torch doesn't work. Bandage doesn't work. So, you use the anti-venom as a reward. item because it's less valuable versus a key. Okay. Does a lot of them do anything here? No. Let's waste a key on it just so we know. Does a bandage do anything? No. But medicine does. That was one we kind of figured out fairly quickly in this game, is that medicine would clean the corpses. This may very well just be a very big level with no actual encounters in it. Or very few encounters. You'd think that there would probably be some level of minimum number of encounters, but who knows? It's possible that it might be so randomized you might run into an entire encounter with no fight. Or it might be a case more that because we've already tried to do this one before, that we know that they may have made it easier on you. That's somewhat believable too. Okay, well, we gotta use a key at that point. There may not be secret rooms in the Weald. That may be limited to certain areas.
Obliterated.
One hit kill there makes me feel confident. 11 critical and 10 stress that makes me feel less than confident.
Eradicated.
Destroyed. These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Okay. So, does holy water work? Yes. That was probably the wrong one to use first, because that felt fairly obvious that would have worked. We need to walk carefully and
the way is lit.
slowly.
The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Where are you, mushrooms? Use our last shovel to dig up the graveyard.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Right, so who has most disarm? 90, 110. So he does get over. It does go over 100. Although 100 may actually mean 100% chance that you will always disarm something. It kind of feels like 100 means 100, whereas so often in games 100% chance doesn't quite mean 100 because there's other calculations around it, or just random modifiers. Let's go ahead and try and kill these front two.
Body and brain.
Come on, take him out.
advantage. Give them no quarter.
That took longer than it probably should have. Let's now see if we can maybe get lucky and kill the foreground character in this turn. Probably can't. You know, it probably says something that it is only in this location that I am annoyed by the background sound effects. That there's probably a misbalance there, whether it's a actual lack of normalization of making all the sound effects about the same loudness, or whether it's just that there's a lot more noticeable sound effects in the forest.
Broken. Maintain the offensive.
If this was a different kind of game, you'd almost suspect that the howling might be a hint to something. That if you followed the howling and were given the option to go in different directions, it might lead you to a fight or lead you to a secret boss. But I don't see any way that that actually could happen here.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Okay. So, let's see if medicine does anything. We'll see if a torch does anything. Let's see if a shovel does anything. Let's see if a key does anything. Nope, none of them do anything at all. Okay. So skip this room, and make an assumption that the hag is in the boss fight. This is a lot of big sized, or at least big looking characters. You probably aren't going to kill the ghoul first in one turn. So, probably try and kill the gargoyles instead. Gargoyles seem to have a really tough skin, but not a lot of health.
Festering fear consumes the mind.
It's one down. That's two down.
Destroy them all.
The fear is really affecting people. And is there anything that fear, maybe laudanum, would affect the fear?
Inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
That might be where laudanum plays a role.
Cruel machinations spring to life with a singular purpose.
Now is a decent point, I think, to rest. We rest here, we get into this battle, and then we get into the final battle.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
All party 10% damage, 10% dodge, 5% critical. Man at Arms is just like a really great character for the all companions 2 speed. Right. And that will leave us with just 1. Stress is at 33, which is not that high. Probably again I'm taking too much food.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
But you know, why not eat some food while you can? Little maggot fight, which couldn't be easier.
Another one falls. Be gone, fiend.
Didn't quite get a single kill in each of the moves, but did get a full elimination without even letting them attack.
Foolish horrors, brought low and driven.
You really
into the
can't
mud.
do much better than that. Now, I guess the only thing to say here is, unless there was something
Glittering
as
gold,
far as leaving a
trinkets and
torch,
baubles, paid for in blood.
unless there was some benefit for leaving a torch, or there was some benefit
In radiance, may we find victory.
something else we needed to do to fight
Twisted
the
and
hag better.
maniacal. A
The hag
smothering
only has
testament to
100
the
health.
powers of corruption.
And has the pot ability. So let's see, this one is damage minus 15 for the range shot.
Precision and power.
She missed with the into the pot action. She's now a third down. She did not do a significant amount of damage there. At a certain level, I guess it is possible that we should run around and look at the dungeon some more, but nah, just take the victory. I guess we still are not 100% sure that we would free our character, but I'm fairly certain we would.
The wood is still poisoned.
If this
The way is
character
still blocked, but
was not
less
freed,
people will be eaten.
that would really have sucked. Okay. This sells for 20 gold. This would sell for 500. This would sell for 20 gold. So probably don't need to agonize over it. And I'm actually assuming that the item sells for 500. We should go back into our inventory and check to see if that's actually the case. It might actually be, now that we've upgraded our tavern, that trinkets we collect that we want to sell might sell for a lot more. The cost of buying provisions hasn't changed. It's still the same. But selling trinkets may be different. Beast Slayer. Field Adventurer.
I remember days when the sun shone and laughter
Another
could
boss
be heard
is
from
defeated.
the tavern.
We're slowly making progress. Alright. Guess we start here. We have a level 3 Plague Doctor. Which, you know,
The task ahead is terrible, and weakness cannot be tolerated.
we could also increase our hero barracks if we wanted to spend some resources there. Still just waiting to get enough crests and enough portraits to upgrade that. Still just waiting to get enough deeds and crests to upgrade these. Once we get all of that upgraded, then we potentially are very nicely situated. Are we actually close to maybe having enough? We would need twice as many portraits. We would need 200 crests to purchase that. We're not anywhere close to busts. And yeah, none of the people that we just took have a significant amount of stress, so they should just go on another run. The only argument against that would be to maybe treat a disease or something. So yeah, that puts you in a weird position. So this is a, let's see, if we sort by class restrictions, this is the exact same thing. When I hold down the shift key and click on it, sell trinket for 1,125, which 750, 750, 1500, 1500. It does seem like even common trinkets now are worth double what they once sold for. So that needs to be part of my calculations as to whether to keep or sell something. Still trying to see if we will ever see a super rare item. And there's just nothing else to do. Nothing else to upgrade, so just embark again. Well, actually, we've been going long enough that we can end the episode here. The thing you potentially would want to do here is have your B team do this, and then that would create an event of Lost and Found, which probably wouldn't even help you specifically on taking on this sunken crew. The other options would be to take the Swine King on, or try for bumper crops, or try for the farmstead, which the farmstead just seems like it's crazy. The Brigand 12-pounder. I think you would give that some time. But yeah, certainly at this point, if you needed to level up a level 0 or level 1 character, you have only one option on the menu in the world area. So maybe we'll do the farmstead here. Is there really a good reason to do this? No. But we need to test our metal, as it were, and see if there's some trick to that. I'm going to take one of everything. And then this will just be fights. And I just got an achievement for, I guess, trying. Okay. So we don't know if this would do anything. We don't know if this would do anything. We didn't know if this would do anything. This would do anything. This will do anything. Or that would do anything. So, yeah. Onward we go. So our goal is to kill quickly and see if this is just like way easier now somehow. But last time we did a fight in the farmstead, it also felt like it was fairly easy. So maybe the enemies you fight in the farmstead are just kind of randomized. That is a possibility, I guess.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
If it is that the enemies are
As the fiend
randomized,
falls, a faint
then
hope blossoms.
there's, I guess, just no guarantee.
Annihilated.
Alright. We could take a moment to heal somebody. Well, this guy can destroy this corpses.
A dizzying blow to body and brain.
That wasn't that hard.
Dazed, reeling, about to break.
But it may very well become a case where you just need a massive amount of stress relief, even if you are level 6.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Let's see.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
I guess the other thing that could have changed here is that we could have level 3 character,
Another
level 3
abomination cleansed
armor,
from our
level
lands.
3 weapons. That in the past has seemed to make a significant difference. And we're not even up to level 4 items, or maybe we are up to level 4 items, I guess. And there are level 5 items.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
What we don't have is a camping ability, which is kind of weird.
Decimated.
Because if I could camp and get rid of the stress, I would win for sure. Just make sure this guy dies.
Begone, fiend.
I guess what you would want to do, and I really didn't prepare, come to think of it, now that I look at it. I could have bought a ridiculous amount of food and eaten the food. I could have bought all kinds of extra resources.
At last, some sheltered corner of reality.
I could have tried holy water on that. Alright. None of these characters can do anything more. So should we go forward on this? Because stress is kind of high. I think you just say I want to see what it looks like. Because like this may just change everything, because the whole second section here may just be a dream. It does definitely feel though like you need probably a healer. A really good healer.
Frustration and fury, more destructive than 100 cannons.
One guy down. One character in stealth. Two guys down. This is very different music playing. It's a shame you don't hear it more often.
Destroyed.
3 guys down.
Well struck.
It seems like we're halfway through this fight. I suppose it's worth mentioning that the Color of Madness is, I believe, a Cthulhu story written by the guy who wrote all the Cthulhu stories. I forget his name. Either that's where the phrase originally comes from, or there's also a movie called The Color of Madness, I think. Which did a very ambitious thing of introducing a new color that people had never seen before, and that leading to people going crazy, I think, by seeing that new color.
Healed, but never hidden.
Otherwise it kind of means nothing. More stress. I don't think we can make it all the way to the end here, but we can potentially get to the second
Executed with impunity.
checkpoint.
A singular strike.
If that was the only guy left, I would have felt a little bit more confident that I might be able to take on the third run. But no. Let's flee after this second checkpoint. Fight might actually end at this point, too.
Grievous injury, palpable fear.
Heal yourself. Kill this guy.
Masterfully executed.
This still could go badly. We still want to see the event.
Corrupted curiosities, begging for examination.
Okay. Tantalizing provisions to renew a body. You can't use the crystals as an object. Body is refreshed. So that healed one guy. Is there any logical reason to go forward? I want to see it.
Anchored on solid ground once more.
If we can
Another one falls.
kill this final group really fast, that'd be great, but isn't the final goal here to kill the Miller? Wouldn't the Miller have like a lot of HP? Almost certainly.
Inspiration.
Good, we can escape
improvement.
though, so I don't think we're gonna get locked into a fight. Everybody's trampled. Critical of 20 killed that? Wow, I didn't realize his health was that low.
Monster's size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Let's see. This might be the right time to flee. Stress is too high on this character, and like this, the stress is too high, and I would also say
A momentary abatement.
getting people back in order is going to take forever. I doubt that there's anybody that's going to have the characters move back in order for me. Yeah, let's flee. Escape now. Take.
Ignorance of your enemy and of yourself will invariably lead to defeat.
And I guess if we got an ability that said farmstead ability. That might make some sense. 15% healing skills while camping might also be something to consider.
Once our
But
estate
I don't
was the
think there
envy of
is
this land.
a trait that would be a farmstead ability trait. Alright, well. Start off with that one definitely needs to go there. And then that one goes there, I guess. And then spend all of our money on all of that. Our level 5 character has a disease. Yep. And you really don't even have to look at anything else because we wouldn't have gotten any items. We just spent a bunch of time. Here we have a Hellion that's a level 2. We dismiss that.
The task ahead is terrible.
A level 3 Hellion.
And weakness cannot be tolerated.
Then we have a man at arms. It's level 3. Kleptomaniac. Let's get rid of him. We're in favor of a man at arms.
Wild eyes, and a stumbling gait. This one is no more good to us.
Okay. Couple more level 3 characters. And as if we sort by level, we are down to just the flagellist, the Vestial, and the Jester at level 1, and then everybody else is working its way to level 6 fairly quickly. I could upgrade the amount of characters I could hold, and that is something I should think about. There is very rare items. Interesting, but we can't actually afford it, which I think highlights that we still have a lot of progress to make. Yeah. Everybody's attack and defense item is level 4. So we're working our way just to level 5s. And maybe that is the big change. But no event happened. Nothing else happened. I could come in here into the audio and say, turn down the, what was it, sound effects volume. Couple more. I probably would be happy with that. Suppose it's worth reevaluating now whether it would be really worth it to bring back a level 3 Plague Doctor at all. Probably not when we have 2 level 3 Plague Doctors. A level 5 Shield Breaker still would be our first priority. A level 4 Houndmaster really probably doesn't matter anymore. A level 4 Occultist potentially doesn't matter anymore. We've got level 3. So yeah, bringing back a lot of these characters don't, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It still probably would be very difficult though to get all of these characters up to level 6. I mean, it is still pretty slow going on that path. I still feel no confidence as far as taking on the darkest dungeon. I still don't feel like a lot of these items change quite enough to matter. I do think we probably are late into the second act of a 3-act play in this game, but I don't think we're past the second act still. I think the third act starts probably when you defeat most of the bosses, if not all of the bosses. And oddly, we are still not getting any rewards for defeating the bosses, so my only real hope would be to defeat the bosses of one area and see if that somehow improves things. Otherwise, it is just going to be more grinding. And I don't know how much more grinding I can really take. I've said it a lot, but it's important to point out. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and give me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.